36. Damn, they didn't deserve that. Stories. According to Reddit. Number 36. When I was in year 7, first year of high school in Australia, I was placed into an intermediate class due to my special needs, autism, Asperger's, and a few behavioral tics that I have since grown out of. Essentially, I attended regular lessons, hung out with the rest of my group at break, but I would have an older boy sit with me on the bus ride to and from, and a special teacher sit with me during class to keep me from going off. There were about 5 boys who would take turns sitting with me, and while most of them were nice blokes, there was also Jay. Oh boy, Jay was no good. He was significantly older, i.e. attending senior year in his 20s, and I have since learned that he also had his own challenges. He would physically hold me in my bus seat. Arms clenched at the side, if I even got up to stretch, and would yell and swear at me to the point that I would walk an hour to school and back on days that he was rostered. The other guys would tell him off, and he eventually was given a detention. Not much else in comparison to what happened. Flash forward about 5 years. I had since graduated high school, attended culinary school in the same town, and was attending a worship service at my local church. We were singing the final hymn when suddenly the back glass door to the church slams open, scaring everyone out of their wits. I turn around to see what happened. It was Jay. He looked horrible. He was wearing shorts and a sweatshirt in the dead of winter. He reeked of piss and vomit and was swaying back and forth heavily. He shuffled into the bathroom and audibly threw up heavily. I was standing 100 meters away and I could hear it. He then stumbled out afterwards when we were having supper and pulled my minister aside for a chat. Apparently he mentioned me a lot. So my minister told me later what he had said. He had been completely unemployed since high school, was drinking heavily every day, and was about to be kicked out of home. He was also battling his conditions, which is what he was talking to me, or is what he wanted to talk to me about. He had heard that I was well-adjusted and getting along well, and wanted guidance. I felt so conflicted. Part of me was thinking, oh, you poor thing. And another part of me was thinking, go rot. Eventually, through the advice of others, I reached out to him, and we started talking. 3 years later, he started a steady job at a grocery cashier, and he has been clean for a little while. I don't consider him a friend, yet, as I still hurt from what happened, but it's getting better. I never really realized what mercy was until I saw Jay for the second time. Aww, what an interesting story. Sunflower BB says, I love you, Kyle. Oh, I love you too, Sunflower. Aww. Oh, man. Stripe says, no Loch Ness emote. You guys will get it back. We just need to get more sponsors. But we shouldn't be in a hurry, guys. Everything's wonderful the way it is. I'm so sorry. But as we travel up this list, we arrive at number 35. Summer camp water skiing instructor was an absolute bitch. She would always talk about how bad we were to the others in the boat while we were putting our skis on in the water, and she would always gun it right away, so practically no one ever got more than a second all week. On the second to last day, she was carrying a gas can on her head to bring it down to the boat, but she slipped and it all ended up in her eyes and on her face and everything. Still don't know if she's all right to this day. Damn. Well, I call that karma, baby. So for those of you who aren't aware, because my title, I admit, is a bit strange, 36, damn, even they didn't deserve that stories. Oh man, I put a quote mark instead of an apostrophe. I thought that looked strange. Give me a break. I was late today because I had to basically reinstall everything on the computer, and it's not as simple a task as it seems, but I'm not going to go on about it right now. The question being asked for clarity's sake is, what's your I hated a certain person, but even they didn't deserve what ended up happening to them story? You get it. Let's proceed. Number 34. Damn, boy. I didn't hate him. I just hated talking to him. He was a friend from school, and we'll call him Jake, who was extremely social and loved talking. He was also the son of a politician with a lot of money. And when I say he loved talking, I mean he would never shut up. He was in my high school class, and since we were neighbors, we'd walk home together, and oh my god, this motherfucker was a talkie. He was a talkie. I was trying to do the walkie, and he over trying to talkie. As a depressed introvert on the spectrum, I could barely tolerate a 10-minute conversation, but it's so crazy how even scrolling up and down, I can see, like, screen tear. I need a better monitor. Son of a bitch. I need a better monitor. Hell to the no. Screen tear while I'm scrolling up and down a page. You got me fucked up. Right? You got me fucked up, right? Right? As a depressed introvert on the spectrum, I could barely tolerate 10-minute conversations, but he'd keep at it forever. Once he followed me home and decided to tell my mom about his furniture venues until 5 in the afternoon. That's better than 9 in the afternoon. You know what I'm talking about? Back to the streets where we begin. We didn't have enough food to offer him something, so we had to suck it up and not have lunch until he left, which was awful. Which you might now understand why one day I just didn't feel like walking home with him. So I made up some excuse about talking to my crush to stay a bit later until he was gone. Later that day, I went on Facebook and saw people posting weird stuff on his wall, so I asked his BFF about it. He was kidnapped. Oh my god. Oh my god. The buddy system was saving his life. This poor kid, he was kidnapped. His uncle arrived in a van and picked him up halfway, told him he was his ride to a family gathering, and he unknowingly got in. He then asked for a huge ransom, kept Jake for a few months, and since he couldn't have him talk about who did it, he killed him and dumped him in a riverbed. What kind of dank ass shit am I reading right now, motherfucker? I am shocked that the writer of this entry could compose himself enough to say, you know, how much this little motherfucker would talk, because I was genuinely right there with him as far as his writing and going, whoa, this kid's annoying and he's just fucking talking. So one day he makes up an excuse to not have to walk with this kid, and the kid gets kidnapped by his own uncle. That's family. You talking about blood thicker than water, you know what I mean? Some people are bad people, man. It don't matter whether they're related to you or not, nigga, what the fuck? He couldn't have the kid talking about who had done it, so he killed him and dumped him in a riverbed. Jake was morbidly obese when he was kidnapped. When they found his body, he was so thin they barely recognized him. His uncle had starved him to death so he wouldn't tell who did it. Eventually, 2 of his henchmen turned themselves in and talked, but the damage was already done. I felt guilty for years. Maybe he wouldn't have taken him if we had walked home together. Maybe he would have taken both of us, and I wouldn't have been able to live with this. Who knows? All I know is my actions may have led to him having a horrible death because I just didn't feel like talking that day. I'm extremely protective of my friends. I never say no to someone who needs to talk and never let them walk home alone. I don't believe in God or family love being unconditional, but the only thing I can say about my friend is he didn't deserve it. He was just lonely and wanted to talk. Holy shit. That was number 34. Okay? As we roll up this list. Number 33. There were these two jerks in my gym class. One day they had to go retrieve a soccer ball that had fallen into the bushes. They stepped into a hornet's nest. They got stung everywhere. Apparently, one got stung in the dick and bowels. The dick and bowels? They didn't deserve it, but I did like that I got to leave gym half an hour early. They didn't deserve it, but I like that I got to leave gym early. Whoa. Well, number 32. Bing bong. A fairly unkind but pretty and popular girl from my high school had an accident while getting ready for prom. She was checking the back of her hair or something when her large mirror fell on her. I believe it hit her head first and shattered glass all over her. It sliced up her face, shoulders, and arms bad enough to put her in the hospital. Fucking horrific. Well, that's what she gets for being a mean, pretty bitch. That mirror had her number. Talk about vanity. Mirror, mirror on the wall, who's the most cut up of them all? So stupid. I should worry about ending the stream quickly, because I'm going to get soda from somewhere. Lots of soda. Aaron Deere says, Kyle, it's not funny to others, but my cheating ex was gang raped. I feel bad because when I was told, I busted out laughing. Am I a bad person? No, because your laughter comes from pain. No one deserves to get gang raped, so you're right to bring it up now in the context of this. Even she didn't deserve that list. But your pain, you know what I mean? Because ain't nothing ruder than being made into a cuck. There's so many people in the world, you know what I mean? A lot of people don't, want a monogamous relationship, so they should find other people who don't want a monogamous relationship, you know what I mean? There's a lot of really happy couplings that exist right now of people that are totally fine having each other be very special to one another, but also, getting around and having fun or whatever the hell they want to call it, you know what I'm talking about? The fact that some people want to trick a dude into, just staying only about them for them to go out and fuck around. I don't know. I want to say that we believe in karma or something. And again, people don't deserve some of these extremes. They ain't deserve that. Look, let's continue up this list. Number 31. A dude in high school was pretty much a dick to everybody. But he made it a point to fuck with my little brother and my girlfriend and basically say horrendous things, so I would fight him in the park and parking lots, etc. A big old piece of shit. So I hated him and all that, but after high school he got really addicted to painkillers and then eventually heroin. Painkillers, the gateway drug. One day he nodded off at the wheel high, rolled his truck, was ejected, crushed, and ultimately fucking killed. Even though I would immediately want to punch him in the face every time he was around, I still felt bad that I heard the news. He deserved misery, but not that. Well, these things happen. That's pretty dank, man. So we roll up to number 30. My middle school bully dropped dead of an aneurysm. Holy shit, the fucking scary ass killer. God damn. Consider this your last warning, Rocket Fast. I can see the autism as if it were written all over you. 30. My middle school bully dropped dead of an aneurysm less than a month into freshman year. Her parents were apparently already going through a brutal, booze-fueled divorce, and one of them, for some reason, thought it was a good idea to try and sell their child's art to cover funeral costs. What the fuck? Which were her 2003 era photo booth selfies? She was a terrible person, but she was also not even 14 yet. Still trying to unpack that one. Man, the world is a weird ass place. Okay? The world is a weird. I wonder how edgy this list is gonna get, you know? I wonder how you guys are. Here's hoping you all had a wonderful day. I know I'm always saying that, but I genuinely wish it. Sometimes I spend my days playing Overwatch and getting all worked up. Only sometimes. Only sometimes. Emmy is in the stream chat. She says it was nice to just pick up some food. I hope Emmy's chilling out, calming down. Emmy's been getting worked up today. Just like me. Can't seem to get right. You know what I'm talking about? Faith says, then it'll be tomorrow and I won't have the energy. But she's finishing something. Well, as we go up to 29, my 8th grade math teacher, I didn't hate her. She always really was nice to me, but all of my classmates hated her. I remember one time a girl asked her how she felt about her youngest sister getting married before her, and she cried in front of all of us. Ugh. She died of breast cancer, and she never got married. What the fuck? Little kids are evil, yo. Little kids are evil.
How do you feel about your younger sister getting married before you? You're unlovable. You're all dried up inside. Who would ever want you? No man would ever want you. Ha ha ha. You are old and gay. Old and gay. But no gay woman would want you either.
And then she died of breast cancer. It's not funny. I mean, it's pretty fucked up. But little kids are cruel. Little kids are evil. Someone says, no, this one is just sad. Damn. Damn. Roger Blankenship says, hey, Kyle. I had a long day at work. How's yours been going? I mean, I guess it could be going worse. It started out the right way. That was cool. It was cool indeed. I think what I need to do is finish this list so that I can talk about what I want to talk about, because something silly happened with the computer and I basically had to reset it. So we'll get into that later. Oh boy, what is Rocket Fast on about? Shit, I'm cooking for her and I almost had a rusty trombone. Nah, that's ban-worthy. I don't have time for that stupid, unfunny shit. I already told that nigga I was warning his dumbass. Okay. Malia Ultimate Meme Lord says, spent most of the day watching your videos, 10 out of 10. I appreciate that, Malia. Let me continue. Number 28. A fresh ex was planning on getting inspirational words tattooed on her wrist. One of the words was friendship. The tattoo came out, friendship. I didn't really hate her, but you know, and X is an X. Get that tattooed on you, you stupid bitch. Number 27, man. God damn. These jokes write themselves. When I was 8, I was friends with a girl who lived across the street. Her older sister was such a bully. She would rat us out. She would make up stuff to tell my mom. She put talcum powder in hair dryer. She said I could have her sale candy, if I had Catherine spend the night. Then she punched me in the head for eating her candy. She was just a punk. Then she got involved with a psycho of a guy. He scared me the first time I met him. A couple of rough years later, when she finally got the nerve to leave him, he broke into her apartment and anally raped her. Ooh. Jesus Christ. That's a bit much. I don't know if YouTube with the mommy is down with this this anal rape shit going on, you know. God, since the computer is new, like I have to do everything over. It's nuts. You want notifications for the dumbest things? Get over yourself. Sorry, I went to a website for the first time on this iteration of the computer because I had to fucking reinstall everything, and it's all like, can we use notifications? And I'm like, no, you're dumb website, and I don't know. What? Why are you asking me to allow notifications? Emmy says, I've been sleeping almost all weekend long this semester because my sleep has been so bad. Well, your sleep about to get better, girl. Just wait, girl. Your sleep is about to go into overdrive. Number 26. A girl at my school, total social climber, and bitched about people constantly, was totally obsessed with horse riding and got into a serious accident where she fell off her horse and hit her head. Was in a coma for a week and currently can't ride again for 5 years. You better be careful, Hannah. Number 25. I had a bully. She treated me like shit. In middle school, a few years after high school, she died giving birth to her second kid. A few years after high school. I mean, you know, we all 18 by then, I guess. Do what you gotta do. But to die during childbirth, that's pretty sad. That's pretty sad. Hey, Kyle, why is this post 119 upvotes? What the fuck? Oh no, Kyle. Oh no. You fool. Guys, you have no idea how many hoops I had to jump through today. My computer encountered a fatal error today. It's a freshly built computer. This thing is new. The computer's new. It encountered an error where it was instantly shutting down multiple times. I had to revert it back to its fresh state to sort out what the hell was going on. When I loaded it back up, even though I had preserved the majority of my files, I had to re-download Steam. I gotta re-download Battle.net. I gotta re-download OBS. I gotta, re-log into YouTube and establish Streamlabs. OBS can't just be loaded the way that I instantly need it. I have to load in the overlays, and I have to do the stream keys for the fucking websites. I gotta configure the streaming settings so that everything comes through properly. And I also needed a shitload of fucking, let's call them extensions for Chrome. I needed the number, which is its own extension. Okay. I needed toggle sidebar, which was its own extension. I needed, or Reddit enhancement suite. I needed so many things. I needed to re-download Photoshop and then crack Photoshop because, you know what I mean? I don't have time. I don't have time for this bullshit. Needed to make the thumbnail. Oh my god, it was just a freaking nightmare. And in the fury, in the haze, in the frustration and the dizzying nonsense of all of this, I forgot to make it start sorting by top. It is currently sorting by what it considers as best. Who are you to tell me what's best, nigga? The vote should be making those decisions. So when I'm rolling up and I see 119, I'm like, wait a goddamn minute. I fucked up here. Today I fucked up. But we're reading them and, they're going to be decent. because they're all, it's just, this one. Oh boy. Whatever we're on is wherever we're at, and we're rolling up, man. Believe in yourself, because this shit's about to get corny. 119. I was like, wait a goddamn minute. Do I even know what number I was on? Oh, you guys don't care. Well, not the girls in the chat, I mean. Oh boy. So forgive me. We roll up to number 24. My kindergarten teacher. She was a horrible...
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I watched C-beams glitter in the dark near the Tannhauser Gate. All those moments will be lost in time, like tears in rain.
Thank you, Dr. Scam, for that $3 donation. That's hot shit, by the way. But one thing I admire is how little you guys seem to care about how alienating your own references are. Oh shit, that's the first thing that's been in the new tip jar for this. And the first donation of the night. Maybe it might be the only donation of the night. Who knows? I appreciate that. Babe says, I care. Oh, I'm glad. Thank you. Listen though, number 24. My kindergarten teacher was a horrible and abusive bitch towards the children. The kind who tied kids to a chair or put duct tape on the mouth of a chatty child. She had a car accident a few years ago while she was driving with 2 of her grandchildren. A drunk driver hit her. She was in a coma for a few weeks but recovered physically. The 2 kids, however, didn't make it. She fell into a deep depression. Last I heard, she was still in the psych ward. Granny driving killed both of the grandkids. Hell nah. You guys better be nice. You know what I'm talking about? Be nice. Because some of this shit could come and get ya. All right. Number 23. This girl I knew in secondary school was horrible. Pretended to be friends with outcasted kids just to make fun of them. I later found out that she had several siblings who were stillborn or miscarried. Had her dad walk out on her and her mom when she was 11, and her stepfather died of a brain cancer when she was 15. She really wasn't a nice person, but she didn't deserve that. Depends on how much money her mom got and what kind of bitch life she was living. You know what I mean? Some people don't even know what they got, honestly. And that's why they act the way that they do, though. Guys, I haven't seen Blade Runner either, and I've been meaning to do it. Maybe when somebody's feeling like sitting down with me to pickle out the wibbly-wombs. It'll happen. Number 22. Kids that used to bother me every day during middle school hung himself. The real kicker is I had wished this many times. I wish this kid would fucking hang himself. Nigga, you got superpowers. Number 21. A girl I went to high school with. Do I always start it off like that? Do I always go, a girl I went to high school? Let me not do that. A girl I went to high school with was a holier-than-thou super bitch. She's a super bitch, she's super bitchy, yow. Oh, she had to make nasty comments. Hey, what did Amitabahashi said something. Oh no, I just injected 3 marijuana. Am I gonna die? Well, I guess Stripes just doesn't find that funny. Interesting. Babe says, you know I always want to watch things with you, Kyle. Oh, bing bong, is that true? What is Stripes saying? Why she hit me with that, hey Kyle, and then 3 face? Why she hit me with that? Number 21. A girl I went to high school with was a holier-than-thou super bitch. She had to make nasty comments about everything, and though she was the greatest thing, as though is what it should have said, but it's written and though. So yeah, As though she was the greatest thing since sliced bread, she practically or particularly disliked one of my friends who was super nice to everyone and ridiculously pretty, and did her best to make my friend feel like shit, which is when I started having problems with her. Sometime after we graduated, she had a tonsillectomy. Again, I was far from close to her, so I heard all of this secondhand. But one day after the surgery, she was home alone, and the incision in her throat opened up, and she drowned in her own blood, motherfucker. This is some metal shit, man. This shit's fucking metal. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? This kid you're walking home with won't shut the fuck up, and you're like, oh my god, just fucking, I'm talking to this girl I like, you go. This kid got fucking kidnapped by his fucking uncle, held him for ransom, starved his ass, he was fat, now he's skinny because he starved, and now he dead? You throw him in a riverbed? Now he dead, he in the riverbed? Dead boy skinny, now he fat again? In heaven. Dead boy skinny, he'll be fat again in heaven. I could write a rapper right now, but that's not okay. These stories are pretty crazy, man. This is pretty slapping on some toast. All right, let's go ahead and roll up through this list because this is a bit bloody. She drowned in her own blood because an incision opened up. I imagine that to have been a horrible way to die, and I wouldn't wish it on anyone. She was home alone after the surgery. Ooh, Faith donated.
Kissies, heart.
I love that it reads the hearts. I don't even know how to make that. You know, I wouldn't know how to make that specific looking heart thing. But Faith got it. I don't know if she wants kisses. So here are the kisses. Hey, the volume's turned all the way down on the fucking computer. That kind of shit makes a difference. You know what I'm talking about? You know what I'm talking about. So what we're gonna do is continue up this list of, what's it called? 36 damn. Even they didn't deserve that stories. Alright. Number 20. In high school, we had a math teacher who hated our class, and by the end of the school year, she made a vow she would fail every single one of her class. Bitch, you can't do that. Before exams started, however, she took a trip to Eritrea, where she got on a bus with some other tourists, and a few days later we got a call from our guidance counselor that she'd been gunned down by robbers on some dirt road. No math exam that year. No math exam that year. I'm just saying, no math exam that year. Guys, I just made it bigger for you in case you guys, I don't know. Maybe you're on a cell phone and you want to read along and this is more convenient for you. I just want it to be good for you. I really want you guys to unwind and blah, 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 blah. Stripe says kiss hard. What's that mean? Anakin says, shit, Kyle, I was just watching your stream from this morning. I wish YouTube actually sent me notifications. I wish YouTube did a lot of things, but I don't know, man. I guess we just got to deal with what we're given. Emmy says he usually streams around this time every day. It's true. Around 9:30, I stream every day. Every day. And, maybe I'll be late. But if so, come in at 10 o'clock. You know what I'm talking about? I don't know how the hell I've been doing this for months at the same time. Probably not months. Probably like a good, solid couple of weeks I've been doing this every night at the same time. And I'm proud that I'm being able to do it. Because I want to do it for anybody who may want to be here. You guys are here, and I love you for that. So we're going to shoot through 5 of these very quickly. Number 19. My brother had this friend, Peggy. She was an awful influence on him, as well as just being an obnoxious and gross person. Well, one day she just up and moved to Myrtle Beach area, and we're in Western North Carolina. So it was a good ways away. Sometime when she was down there, she was in a 4-wheeler accident. She ended up paralyzed from the neck down. With years and years of physical therapy and dedication, she will one day regain mobility, but nobody deserves that. Her parents never went to see her when she was in the hospital, not once. Damn. guess that's how it goes. Looks like Molly is asking, what time zone are you in, Kyle? I'm on the East Coast. So I'm on Eastern Standard Time. What y'all know about that? Not a damn thing, apparently. Not a damn thing. Dr. Scam says, later, Kyle, gotta go to bed. You have a great night, and I hope you wake up feeling restored, rejuvenated. Number 18, my coworker. She was mean, petty, rude, unhelpful, and an all-around bully. Pretty much a 16-year-old mean girl in a 35-year-old adult's body. I almost quit my job a couple of times because of her and another coworker just like her. Last year, she was diagnosed with breast cancer, and it has progressed to stage 4, baby. She's been missing more and more from work and should be out on permanent disability because she's dying, mate. And should be spending time with her kids. Not coming to work. Uh-oh. Number 17. Homeless guy we used to pick up in my old EMS days. He was rude and called for the dumbest shit ever. One night he got hit by a truck and dragged like 30 blocks under it. I wasn't the responder on that call, but he was still alive at the time. They intubated him on the side of the road and raced him to the hospital, but he died anyway. Only condolence was he was probably super shit-faced as usual, which is how he probably ended up under the truck. Stories I heard from the crew, though, sounded like he was in super rough shape. Jesus Christ. Well, here we go. Number 16. A kid I knew in high school bullied me all the time. Consistently in trouble, got me in trouble a few times too. Finally got expelled. Good riddance. Heard intermittent stories over the next years of him being in and out of trouble. Reconnected with him through a mutual friend 20 years later and found out he'd had a very abusive childhood and bounced around various foster homes. That explained everything. Does it? We've been friends for several years now. He's happily married and living a great life. Oh, what a happy story. Suck my asshole, you fart licker. Number 15. My ex-wife left me for a guy who had addiction issues. They have 2 kids now, and he died of an overdose a few months ago. They struggled before, and now it's hard to see it unravel on Facebook. As long as y'all watching that through a screen, you know what I'm talking about? Where it can't hurt you, you're nice and safe, have some popcorn. You know what I ordered off of Amazon a long time ago? Apparently it's popcorn that pops into caramel flavored popcorn. Because you know what I really want? Oh my God. I need to just pick it up at a store. You know what I'm talking about? But what I want is like a big ass container of like, it's like, oh man, it's like caramel popcorn. You know what I mean? But it's such an obnoxious amount. You know what I mean? And like a big fucking container of this shit. They got this shit on here. Amish good premium caramel popcorn. Hand stirred, baby. That's how you know it. This is what I bought. I don't know how good it is. But maybe I need to get some of that Amish shit. You know what I'm talking about? Oh, whoa, does this have the candy in there? No. Get me out of here. Number 14. There is this parent at my school I work at whose kid falsely accused the teacher of physical abuse. The kid was easily proved to be a liar and even admitted her injuries were fake. Well, that didn't stop her mom from going all the way in a lawsuit and making that innocent teacher's life a living hell. A few months later, the girl went to the grocery store with her grandfather, came home, and discovered her mom's savagely murdered body. Her ex-con dad was there while she was at the store and killed her mother. I never liked the girl or her mom, but damn. That's three, ladies and gentlemen. That's 3 gnarly ass entries to this giggly wiggly gist of a list. Holy bing bong. That one had 17,000 upvotes, and I have reason to believe it may have been what should have been the top of this list. So whatever that was, what was it, like number 14? No, this had 14,000 upvotes. Okay, 14,000. Okay, all right. Okay. All right. Let's continue. Number 13. My friend's boyfriend in high school was a major dick. He was kind of a redneck Regina George of sorts. I don't know who that is. Had a huge following of like-minded idiots who he verbally abused constantly. He cheated on my friend when they were dating, and she stupidly forgave him. They went on a break, and he immediately slept with her then best friend. What a best friend. He was unabashedly a bad person. This year in May, he was diagnosed with malignant melanoma and died 3 months later at 21. It sucks that he died so young, but I'm not going to celebrate him because of it. The dude was an asshole. He's an asshole. Number 12. My ex, who we'll call Jane, left me and moved in with a family friend, who we'll call Steve. Both were in their mid-40s. Jane swore up and down that it was purely platonic. They wound up moving across the country and getting a one-bedroom apartment. Now I'm pretty trusting, but that raised some red flags, and this might not be platonic after all. Jane was looking for alimony, which she would be entitled to, but not if she was living with Steve as a couple. So I tried to gather evidence that they were a couple while she was stonewalled and delayed turning over the evidence. The divorce dragged on for something like 18 months longer than it should have. Eventually we agreed on a compromise. I would pay her alimony, but only for another year. She'd be entitled to another 12 years if she wasn't with Steve, and only about 40 to 50% of the dollar amount she'd ordinarily been entitled to. 2 weeks later, after we signed the settlement agreement, Steve dropped dead of a stroke. Looks like your new man's dead. Gonna take you like 2 whole minutes to find a new dick on Tinder. Sorry. Okay, number 11 here. A girl I went to primary school with bullied me relentlessly through reception to year 5. It quickly got to the point where my parents and teachers were on a first-name basis due to all the meetings they had about it. In year 3, I think her brother was killed in a quad bike accident. She and her older sisters were out of school for about 2 weeks, and her brother had a memorial tree planted for him at school and the secondary school he went to. When she came back, we were okay with each other for a bit, and I think I remember comforting her for several times after it happened. Then it was back to the normal. Biggle to the whip dip. Let's get through this. I could probably finish this easily in like the next 10 minutes. That's what I'm talking about. Let's do that. I want to test my own abilities. Set a timer for 10 minutes. You okay? You gonna do it?
Roger that. T-minus 10 minutes and counting.
Number 10. I took a transfer at work to get away from a crazy coworker. A few months later, I was asked to come back and cover for a couple of days. I was really hoping Crazy wouldn't be there, but she showed up, only for the manager to have someone take her to the hospital. She was having severe abdominal pain that ended up being a ruptured ovary. I didn't want to spend the day with her, but I didn't want her to go that badly. Jeez. Number 9. My French teacher lost her husband because he drowned. I didn't hate her at all, but many people from my class did. One time during French class, one of them screamed, "Man overboard!" and everyone lay on the ground laughing. My teacher ran out of the room, crying. Oh, that's so mean. Number 8. A guy my cousin dated that burned our apartment down because he was mad at her. About 8 years later, he was killed by a prison guard, spraying pepper spray directly in his face like 6 times in a row. Prison COs don't give a fuck. They lived that life, baby. They got the state behind them. Guga, you can't deny it. CEOs are fucking riders. In their mind, anyway. Number 7. Ooh, man. How am I supposed to read this in under a minute? Guy from my high school that everyone hated and thought was an asshole. Never spoke 2 words to me, so I have no first-hand knowledge. He was a star quarterback and destined for Division I glory, like his older brother. End of senior year, he breaks his leg and all his scholarships evaporated. Ended up with a Division III school or something. Never made a splash. Now he's divorced and legitimately insane. He constantly posts gibberish on his Facebook page, like just crazed musings several times a day. Then Google translates them into various random languages and posts those. One time he posted all of his high school football commendations, newspaper clippings, and Division I scholarship recruitment letters, literally over 100 pics. He is the living embodiment of glory days. A very, very sad and disturbed guy. Well, maybe if he tries, he can boost his intellect and enjoy a bit of Rick and Morty. Here we go up to number 6. Former coworker was a bitch to everyone and got away with doing nothing. Everyone could see it and everyone hated her for it. She got pregnant and milked it for everything it was worth. The baby died in utero just days before the due date due to a blood clot in the umbilical cord. Blood clot umbilical cord baby. Would never wish that sort of thing on everyone. Or anyone. Ooh, blood clot umbilical cord baby. Kidnapped talks a lot nephew. And what was the other one that was brutal? Something with blood. Something was bloody. There's bloods all over the place. There's so much blood. Oh yeah, the incision burst after the tonsillectomy, and she drowned on her own blood. She fucking drowned on it. Goddamn. Fucking brutal. Number 5. My ex was a real ass to me. Cheating, screaming, throwing things, the whole deal. 3 months after I finally broke up with him, I got a call from his friend, or a friend of his. He, at 20, dropped dead on a bus and no one knew why. It turned out he had undiagnosed testicular cancer that spread to his lungs, closing his airway. Oh my God. Wouldn't have ever spoken to him again, but he didn't deserve to die. Ooh, let's roll up out of that. Number 4, had an art teacher in middle school. Was obvious that he was biding time till retirement and hated the kids at this point. Not that we're angels or anything. He wasn't half bad at art either, but you could tell he was kind of disappointed in where his life ended up. Anyway, he goes on vacations into the mountains and ends up having a heart attack and driving off a cliff. He did not make it. Brutal. Number 3. Dude I went to high school with was my arch nemesis. He was in my sports team and was just constantly giving me shit all the time, bullying me to the maximum. Couldn't do much about it, honestly. He even started physically fighting me in the middle of a game once. Anyway, he's the only person I've ever met that I hated. Found out a year ago, or 12 years later, that his dad was being charged with son of a bitch. So close. Found out about a year ago, 12 years later, that his dad was being charged with child molestation and apparently abused him too. Never a guy you'd expect, Mr. Tough Guy and all that, kind of rednecky. Anyway, there was obviously a lot more going on than 16-year-old me understood or could ever understand. I still feel like I hate him, but I at least understand it now. Number 2, man, come on. When I first began freshman year in high school, I was bullied mercilessly by a junior. I have no idea why this guy hated me, but he did. He was bigger than me and stronger than me, and would push me around, call me names, make fun of other people if he saw me talking to them, etc. I'm old, And when I was in high school, if you told an adult that you were being bullied, they'd tell you useless crap like, just ignore him and he'll go away. That never worked. It got so bad I thought about dropping out of school, thinking about suicide, didn't know how to deal. And then one day, I get to school and see a couple of girls we were friends with crying. See a couple of teachers with very concerned looks on their faces. And then when homeroom starts, the principal gets on the PA and announces that my bully had been in a car accident and died the night before. Hurrah, I said, and I pulled out my dick right there and just started jerking it away, man. This was the greatest day of my life. And then the girl that I liked, the one that I considered the hottest, just slid right into the room and said, looks like you could use a little help there. And then the teacher, who was also a hot bitch, she undid the top part of her shirt so that her titties were out just a little bit. And she was nodding. She was all like, oh yeah. And the principal came into the room. And then the whole marching band came in. They were like, da, 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 da. He certainly didn't deserve to die. I wouldn't support the death penalty for bullying. But man, did my life ever change after he died? This is rude. You're rude, Kyle. You're a rude guy. I finally started making friends. I could walk through the halls or valley of the shadow of death and fear no evil. Not worried about getting picked on. I really started to flourish academically. I got into a good college and now have a good career and a life. Wow. My wife and I, we watch Bones and fucking Game of Thrones, man. You like Bones? Get on Facebook all the time. You ever heard of this BuzzFeed website? It's so cool. Sometimes I want to laugh. I go to this page called iFunny. Have you ever heard of it? Wow. You know, I'm thinking we need to get back on MySpace. We're going to bring it back. What the fuck?
I tell a de Luke Nos Moon store. I'm not give you a da 350. Ye goddamn bastardo. Also keyed rapey.
I'm not acknowledging that. All right. So thank you, because it's Tree Fitty, and you already know what Tree Fitty.
What's Tree Fitty?
$3.50.
Tree Fitty. Tree Fitty.
I appreciate you, but boy was that a Sinner J. Boy was that a load of bullshit that I just saw. How about that? So oh boy, hey, that derailed me just a little bit. Holy crap. I think there's a pretty good chance I would have dropped out of high school and a smaller but real chance that I would have committed suicide if that kid hadn't died. So here we are at number 1. Turned out the assholiest of asshole mean girls at my high school was horribly sexually abused by both of her parents. God damn. The mom too, dude? Holy shit. It was seemingly a competition of who would be the worst monster. To paint a picture of one of the mother's defenses, is that the rapes only started after the daughter hit puberty. Before that, the punishments were just good old beatings. Ugh, somebody said, holy shit, that's sad and terrible. I can see why she would have acted so shittily. Ooh, motherfucker. Somebody said, Jesus Christ, poor girl. Wait a minute. Jesus Christ, that poor girl. I imagine part of the reason she was a bully was to try and regain some control in some way, as she had none at home. Well, look, that's part of the problem. It's not an excuse. A lot of you dumbass females and men as well deal with problems where you have no control, so you try to exercise it in the few places that you can. You're just grasping because you need it in your life. There's my timer, but I read 10 entries in under 10 minutes. So I fulfilled my obligation. A random and unrealistic fucking goal set by the Kyle for reasons beyond himself. I gotta reset up OBS. What does that mean? It means that all of the sponsors, they need to be re-added. You know what I mean? So here are the sponsors. Let me rename this SPONSORS. Go ahead and size that out. Friendly and sexy thank you to the sponsors. You already know how I get down, and I'm all about you. You take my frown and you turn it upside down. Bing bong. And I'm opening up another image because it also needs to be re-added into OBS. What could that image be? Oh wow, it's my sexy patrons. You know, the ones who somehow on a monthly basis as well get down in a way that's like, it's like the chicken of support. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, every day I'm going to say something even more ridiculous, if that's possible. Patrons too. But luckily for me, those aren't the only patrons. How sweet am I? How sweet are you that somehow you might extend yourself in my life in a way that's bing bongin', doobly frooby, Rudy Tooty, fresh and fruity, all Rudy, a wop babaloo bop. Oh my God, Kyle, you're ridiculous. So, guys, what's going on? You okay? Is everything fine? I think you guys are okay, right? You know, I've lost my saves for South Park. That's just how the world goes sometimes. So I'll just play it off stream and then mean to pick it up where I left off, so to speak. Just sucks the way some things go, you know? Stripe says, let's watch cartoons. I need to go sort out food. And more importantly, drink. Because there ain't none of that here. You know what I was thinking about doing is using Faith's blender. And mixing up some Hawaiian punch into like a slush. You know what I mean? A dank ass slush in this bitch. You know it's dank. Dragon Age Inquisition is so broken. I remember I played that game. Are you guys okay? Do you guys need anything? Are you looking for anything specific? Well, if you guys don't need me, you know where to find me. I love you, and hopefully 000 says cringy stories. Is that so? Well, these were pretty outrageous. That was very recent. That was actually a post from 13 hours ago, by the way. So it's not that crazy, not that old. Let me drift right back into that and then establish it by way of top. And hopefully it'll just start instantly doing that. Whoa, have I even seen this one? My ex-wife cheated on me. I was destroyed as a man. I'm still picking up the pieces in a lot of ways. Anyway, about a year after we officially divorced, we separated for 6 months before we filed. She remarried and immediately became pregnant. The baby had a condition where its skull would never fully form, and it had no chance of survival. She went to the hospital, gave birth, and her son lived about 3 hours and passed away in her arms. I disliked my ex so much for what she did to me, but damn, nobody deserves that. The kid just died in her arms tonight. Must have been not fully formed. No, Kyle, no. Skull. Ooh. Maybe you shouldn't be a cheating bitch, you fucking dirty hoe. Oh, Lord. I'm glad that some people left before we got to that, because that shit was a little bit too edgy, Kyle. Woo, you trying to monetize that? I just died in your arms. I'm going to sing that song now. I don't care. I'm going to sing I Just Died in Your Arms Tonight. Okay. That's going to be the next Kyle song for the channel for no reason. Woo! Woo, motherfucker! Woo! I'm sorry. Somebody's trying to sleep. I apologize. So. We're going to go down. I'm just going to make sure all of these are ones that I've read. My coworker, she was pretty mean and rude. I remember that. There was a parent. Blah, 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 blah. Musings. Glory days. Died due to neglect. Wait a minute. Typical high school cheerleader bitch. She called me a nerd loser every time she saw me. Was a terrible person as far as I know. Her parents caught her smoking the marijuana cigarettes, and she was sent to Christian Bible rehab, where she died due to neglect. Oh, shit. Oh my god. Fried ship. Emi Takahashi says, Kyle, you haven't noticed, but Aaron's using the devil's keyboard. I'm gonna time you out. I have noticed, Emi Taka faggot. You know what I mean? It's not something that I give attention to because it's fucking stupid. Him using a freaking, you know what I mean? Him typing backwards, using something on Google to just flip his words. Is that interesting? That's something that's worthy of my attention. I need to take time away from the stream that I'm trying to put on every fucking night to devote attention to this thing that he's doing. Oh my God, Kyle, look at this. You know what I mean? That type of shit makes me wonder, are you just Aaron on a phone or something? Are Aaron Deers and Emmy different people? Do you get what I'm saying? Or are they the same person? Because that's not something that anybody would give a fuck about enough to say some shit like this. Kyle, you know what I'm fucking talking about? You know what I'm saying? I really hope that whatever fucking baby that you have has a... Don't go there, Kyle. Don't go there. What was that thing I used to say to people when I would play on video games? I would say, man, if I had a time machine, I'd go back in time and kill both your parents so I can see what kind of superhero you would become. You know what I'm talking about? Superhero you would become. Oh my God. Forgive me, guys. You know? It's not that big a deal. I'm just having a little fun, right? At people's expense. Get that shit the fuck out of here. Roger Blankenship says, oh, hey, Kyle. Pick up my Pokemon Sun starter? Oh, Pokemon Sun. I think I picked the fire one because the other ones didn't look as cool. I don't like the final evolved forms of most of them. The owl's not bad, but certainly not Poplio. Woo. Or Poplio, or however the fuck they want to pronounce it. They fucked up the water Pokemon, and that's really disgusting. Squirtle is so fucking Quirtle. Quetzalcoatl. Oh my God. So guys, yeah, I'll catch you soon. I don't know what the hell's going on anymore. I really don't. What's the difference between Ultra, you know? Like what did they update it with? I feel like it's not a real title. So why should I care? Ultra Sun and Moon. I'm just waiting to get that damn what the hell is this? Get this shit out of the way. Isn't this the shark? Or the alligator? I don't remember. Yeah. Ooh. Meh. Never mind. The iPhone X screen repair will cost $2,279. I need to put a line in my diss track about niggas pre-ordering the iPhones. Yeah. Yeah. Stupid motherfuckers. The coffee maker at my office was out of order. Coffee maker not hot, but has a great personality. See, you know that bottom one was written by a man. 'Cause if you get the willy, then you got the silly. You see what I mean? Guys, I love you to death. Thank you all for being here. Hopefully I can catch you around here at the same time tomorrow. And we'll get down in a big way. Stay sexy. I miss you already. Bye. Bye, 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 bye.